welcome back to Two Old Crows Homestead. And I'm going to try not to say as many times in this video as I did in the first one. So one of our very first projects that we have to get done here on the homestead is getting our chickens home. So this building that I'm in is actually a garage, and it's not, if you look at it from the outside, it looks like old barn lumber or whatever. I don't know how old it is, but it's really sturdy and it looks really neat from the outside, the whole rustic look or whatever. But this area right here, so on the other side is like where you would park a vehicle. There's a sliding door over there. On this side, there's these shelves right here and some shelves back there behind Randy where he's at. That area is either going to be like a workbench area for him, and this is going to be like a gardening area for me, or vice versa, whichever one. Right now it's just a mess and it needs to be cleaned up. However, we built this, we started working on this, and so Randy framed this in and put a roof on it, and you know it's like impossible to get lumber right now because it's so stinking expensive. So we were able to find some rough cut lumber, which will work fine because it's inside, it's not, you know, outside in the elements or whatever. So he framed in the top of this. We got some plywood and put a roof over it so we can store stuff up there, and we're making this into our chicken coop. Today he and Crystal, our daughter, put the door together and did a great job with it because it's super heavy. We at our other place, we had the latch that we had on the door, it worked really well, but if you got into the coop, you were stuck in the coop. Like, you were locked into the coop and there was no way out because we made it very predator proof. So this time the lock that we got on the door is just one of these slide locks that goes back and forth. But we bought this super heavy duty chain, or spring, sorry, to attach to the door. So if we have to go in here, like if we go in here to collect eggs or whatever, the door will just shut behind us and we don't have to worry about chickens getting out. But I know it's kind of dark in here right now, but the shelf that goes along this wall is right here, and we're going to put nesting boxes up here. He's built a ramp, and we've got to put like the little, whatever, the things to help them walk up the ramp. Cooper is in here investigating right now, but
we still got to cut that out down there.
Yeah, so down here where you see the little cutout, we put plywood all in here to kind of minimize
insulation.
Yeah, and it's also got insulation behind the plywood to help minimize the drafts that come through in the wintertime, but also to help with predator stuff. And this one to me doesn't seem as secure as our other one at our other property. So we're going to do, you know, we're going to keep a better, well, I mean, we kept an eye on the other one too, but we're going to be checking on them obviously every day and making sure that nothing's getting in here. It feels pretty secure, but I'm just not real sure. Mainly because we didn't build this garage thing and it was already here. But so he kind of pieced together plywood on the walls, and then down here where this hole is cut out in the plywood, we're going to cut the wood that's on the back of the garage out, and that's going to be the opening into the coop, and we'll put a door on the outside of it. We're planning on hopefully bringing them home today, and so they'll be probably just kind of free ranging in our backyard. We do have hardware cloth, a bunch of hardware cloth fencing that we bought for this when we bought the property. Just because we were going to try to put it together the way our old one was. Now we're going back and forth with some different ideas. We definitely want to do the chicken tractor on steroids, which is a permaculture thing. Actually, I'm not sure that it's a permaculture thing. I do know that it is a permapasture farm thing. So if you want to learn about the chicken tractor on steroids, which is an excellent way to build compost. That's like the #1 goal of it, is to feed your chickens with very little to no chicken feed. You're using the compost. The chickens are tearing the compost apart and turning it, and bugs and biota and all of that other stuff is growing in the compost, and that's what they're eating for protein. You can give them just like table scraps and stuff like that to get carbs, but it's pretty much not buying feed. But it's a way to raise meat birds or dual purpose birds or whatever, and get compost out of the deal. So that's our ultimate goal. But because we're kind of on a time crunch to get those chickens home today, they're probably going to be free ranging for a bit. We're not sure if that's going to work because our dogs have had, you know, some interaction with the chickens, and they've been around the chickens, but to leave them out in the yard together without our supervision, we're not real sure about that. So that's going to be, this is just, it's a long weekend home for Randy and I both, so it's a good weekend to test this out and make sure. But
no, the chickens will be in there for at least a week and a half, 2 weeks before we can let them outside.
I don't know that they'd have to be in there that long. Maybe a week. I know we got to make sure that they know where to come home to. So we're going to take it easy and just do it slowly and make sure everybody knows what's going on. But I'll do a video when we go get the chickens and bring them home and kind of, you know, put all that together and hopefully release it today or tomorrow, probably tomorrow. But hopefully we'll get that first project done this weekend. Okay, so before we go get the chickens, we've actually been out here doing a little bit more work. We added a couple milk crates for nesting boxes and screwed these boards into them. We'll put hay inside of there. Our coop that we have at home, we have 9 hens and 1 rooster, and our coop that we have at home has 3 nesting boxes, and they only use 2. If we find that we need another one, we'll just add another one down there. We've got this whole space right here for plenty of nesting boxes. And then we also added a roost, so right here. And if need be, we can add another one going across this way at a different dimension, or different height, not dimension. And then we added all of these little pieces of wood for steps so they can get up to this level where the nesting boxes are at. We hung this. This is where the waterer is going to be, so we put an eye hook right there with a carabiner, and we'll hang that there. That way it'll be easy to change out the water. We can just do that by opening the door here. And I think that's it. So Randy's right now putting a handle on the door out there just to make it easier to open the door. Yeah, that looks fine to me. And we're gonna clean this up and put some hay in those nesting boxes, and we'll go get our babies. See ya. All right, so we're here picking up our chickens. This is our old, it's still our property. Our daughter and her son-in-law are living here, but this is our old coop. And, or not old coop, I guess old pen. And this was the old chicken coop. It's not really that old. It's not even a year old. We just bought it recently. And then this was their whole area. Randy fixed that covered area down there for them. Whoop. Just kind of zooming out. And then we would let them run around in the backyard periodically.
Oh, it might not be big enough.
But we're going to try to get them in this cage in a dog pen. A dog kennel, I guess. Aren't they pretty? Alright, so we're here. We got our chickie babies. There is, we've got 4 barred rocks. Our rooster right here, King, he's a black Orpington. And then we've got 5 ISA or Isa Browns, whatever they call those. This one right here, look at her back. That has happened from King mounting her like all the time. So, yeah, we're gonna see about getting something to cover her back, but we're heading home with them. Time to go home, girlies. So we got their water set up. There's food down there. So we've got everybody home. They're still hanging out in that cage. The door is open. One of them came out. She's checking everything out. King. Yeah, she's kind of leery about everything. Here comes another one. I think we're going to close the door so they don't come out. King is probably sending them out one by one to figure out what's going on. And Randy, they're probably thirsty. So let's get out so they can... Can we push the cage over anymore? There we go. That's better. All right, ladies. There's food over here. Y'all need to come out and see what's going on. Yep. Good morning, everyone, and happy 4th of July. I'm just gonna come out here and check on the chickens. We brought them home last night, and we're gonna see how they're doing this morning. What are you doing, huh? What up with them chickie babies? Aww. Do you like your new home? Did Dad take out the cage? Well, it looks like they're eating and they're getting water. Are you letting me know that something's different here? Huh? I don't see any eggs. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have an awesome 4th of July.